Hello, today we will be talking about Go Venture CEO, Brandy Hospital. My name is Anthony Bashir,
I'm Myra Paz.
I'm Brandy Mahano.
And I'm Emily Pena.
and let me just share that slide presentation. By the way, I have a second screen over here, so if you see me look away from the camera, that's why. And like what I mentioned, today our slide presentation is about Go Venture CEO, Brandy Hospital. We are Group 9. And let's move on to this slide 2. Maria, do you want to start off with the
Yes,
intro?
of course. So I'll start with an introduction of our hospital, Brandy Hospital, like which products and services we provided to our patients. So our specialty means we had like different other stuff as well, but our main specialty was obstetrics, which is a branch of a medicine, which is specializes in surgery concerned with childbirth and giving birth, so which is very important. And then we have to have a very skilled, highly skilled doctors and services in our hospital because it is connected with not only one life, with like two lives, like the mother and a child. So we have to be very careful and keep very highly skilled doctors. So and the expertise the level of expertise was very high since the department itself is very important. So we have to be very careful, like how we treat them and the services we provide them, and also the equipment, which is very important because if we have a high tech equipment, so we can provide better results of their labs and x-rays and everything which is needed in this whole 9 months of the process of their like pregnancy during this whole thing. So we have to have very highly tech equipment, and then which we had, and then the facility was which we provided was above average because which was needed by our customer, quite important. And so yeah, next slide please.
So our vision, mission, and SWOT, which means our strength, our weakness, our opportunity, and our threats. So our company vision was to provide a high-end expertise, equipment, and location. Our company mission was to supply patients with care, medicine, and surgery, obstetrics for adults, young adults, and seniors. Our strength was advertising effectiveness and R&D investments. Our weakness was market share by units sold and revenue budgeting. Our opportunities were to better understand of how much allocating our budgets can affect our future investments and upgrades and purchases. Our threats were experiencing and combining the flexibility of ethics. Let's move on to our next slide. Brandy, do you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so this is how we follow closely to our vision and mission at Brandy's Hospital by our management either staying above average or higher than our competitors. That was in ethics, expertise, and equipment. We also gave great quality service and knowledge to our patients. We did struggle a bit in our salaries, being below the industry average, but we still managed to be a bit above. Although we had a few employees leaving the company, they are accomplishing less and are less satisfied. And we did have some problems in our HR management.
Okay, so for strategy and competitor analysis, one of the things that we tried to do for each round was meeting the minimum requirement of employees. I understand we just talked about how our salaries were below the industry average. That did affect us a lot, considering that, we do have people who are working for us that know a high level of expertise when it comes to obstetrics. And so what we tried to do was change the salaries to match the knowledge and the workload experience and expected. Um, One way to do that was to adapt to the change in the budget update based on the changes in ethics, because I know there were times where weakening the ethics brought us more budget added, but at the same time, there were moments where, you know, we would strengthen the ethics, but we wouldn't be receiving more budget. In fact, we would find ourselves like allocating, you know, a lot more, and some of it wasn't even able to go towards um the remaining traits that we're trying to achieve. So from there, we kind of just decided, okay, what could we do to, you know, meet the minimum requirements of employees, but also have enough to do, you know, investments in R&D, advertising, you know, prices for, you know, um, a doctor's visit. So we would try to meet that minimum requirement of employees, and from there we would work with our remaining budget, because the more you go into focusing on, okay, receiving the amount of employees needed, once you get that set, you're able to move on to what else is important. And that was why um I did what I did. That was my way of thinking. But again, you know, with ethics, it was a bit complicated for me because of the flexibility. You know, it could benefit you one round, the second round, it could, you know, cause a fall. And other than that, like we also try to boost up our advertising for the hospital as well. If we advertise, you know, the specialty that we have, it could catch the attention of potential employees. And from there, we have people that are trained, have a level of expertise. And from there, we could easily advertise to the patients, the youth, the adults, and the seniors. So that was another big thing for us, to select the top four most important advertising types. It could have been newspaper, magazine, television, and radio. So it's these little things that go into this somewhat vicious cycle when it comes to strategy and competitor analysis.
So now we'll talk about the concept that we used in our Brandy Hospital. So the major four concepts were, first one is like the driving forces of like what were the main driving forces. So driving forces are the major underlying causes of change in industry and competitive condition. Like how do we like what are the main driving forces, like example changes in hiring an employee and updating their salary to make them stay in our business. So if they are not getting paid enough, so of course they will leave our business and they'll go to our another competitive hospital. And if those employees are very highly skilled, that means we are losing our assets, because our high tech employee is company's asset. So we have to make sure that we are giving them enough salary and we are fair. And also, focused differentiation strategies are key to offering carefully designed products and services to appeal the unique preference and need of a narrow, well-defined group of buyers. So here again, like I told earlier in another slide, like specializing in obstetrics, like mostly all of the department in like medical is very important because it's like related to your life. But here, obstetric is really, really important because it's not about like for one thing you're going one day and next day it's over. It's like related to like giving birth, childbirth. So it's like it has like a whole 3 trimesters, like 9 months. So you have to be consistent, providing better services, having highly skilled doctors and good management, and then high tech equipments. So we are differentiating ourselves from other competitors. And also the corporate venturing is the process of developing new business as an outgrowth for company established business operations. So we must invest in new capacity, hire and train and build channels. So we had like trainings for our all employees, even they're on a management and administration or our doctors, because everybody in mostly all fields need to be updated. need to be updated, even if it's an IT or anything, they need updated training. So we are up to date on our skills so we can provide a best to our patients. And furthermore, the intensity of competition. So it was very highly competitive because this is industry, like this health industry is usually very competitive because everybody wants to provide the best. So the patients go to their hospital. So their hospital, they make more money. They are on top of the business. So we actually kind of like had we like a bad luck because we were very under pressure because industries in which pressures are relatively weak are more attractive, and then the industries with strong pressures, and Brandy Hospital experienced high pressure from being at the bottom of ranking, which cycles back to the top 3 concepts. So we tried our best. We changed R&D. We did changes in investments and marketing and everything. And we tried different strategies to level up. So we actually did, in between, we were on maybe 7th. And then some of our strategies didn't work, or maybe they were not good enough as other competitors. So we ranked like on 9th. But again, like we're all here to learn. So yeah, next slide.
Okay, I just want to go over this very quickly. Pricing, budgeting, finance reports, and decisions. So with the pricing strategy that we had, it consisted of increasing the amount spent on R&D by an increment of $50, $100, and $1,000, just so we can kind of see how much of the budget we allocated and how much of it remained. So another thing that we did, as I shared prior to the slide that we just went over, we evenly dispersed the percentage by 25 for the top 4 advertising choices. Sometimes one of them may have had more than 25%, but as long as it maintained the top 4 best advertising strategies, it resulted in us having a good percentage on advertising effectiveness. Now, for budgeting and making financial decisions, it was crucial that we met the required amount of employees. And from there, we were able to work with the remaining budget to see if we needed to either weaken our ethics or strengthen it. And when it came to the finance reports, the profit and loss report helped us better understand what caused the loss. An example would be an experience that I saw between month 5 to 7. We did experience a major loss due to high expenses. So that really gave us an inside look of what to expect in the real world.
So our conclusion for the Go Venture simulation has exercised our minds and help us grasp a better understanding of what we're going to see in real life marketing field, as well as how a big business like a hospital really works. To better our finances and performance, we have to fully grasp how ethics works, the salaries and the investments can either benefit or fall into really bad instability.
So we want to thank you so much for looking at our slide presentation again. My name is Sante Bashir.
I'm Mayra Paz.
My name is Brandy Mahano.
And I'm Emily Pena.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this ends the recording.